The Detroit Red Wings lose a seesaw battle to the Chicago Blackhawks, in which had everything that make the Red Wings good and everything that make the Red Wings bad bundled together in one game.
You're Locked On Red Wings, your daily podcast on the Detroit Red Wings, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back to the Locked On Red Wings podcast. We're your hosts, Brian Fisher and Scotty Bentley. You can find me on Twitter at BrianFisher971. You can find Scotty on Twitter at Bentley Scotty. You can also find him over at Locked On Tigers. He's also the host there. And thank you for making us your first listen every single day. We are free and available on all platforms, including YouTube.
YouTube, baby.
There. I got it all out of the way in the first 30 seconds of the show.
YouTube, baby. You did. Good job, man.
Normally, Scotty, after a game, we would spend 1, maybe 2 segments recapping it. But that game last night against the Chicago Blackhawks was
unbelievable.
It was unbelievable. It was a head scratcher from start to finish. It had just about everything you love and hate from this team this season wrapped up in the one. And first and foremost, we kind of jinxed ourselves, and we said we were going to jinx ourselves too.
Man,
we were talking about the Blackhawks suck,
man,
and then we were like, now they're probably gonna get pumped because of it. 4-0 after the first period, and of course, I got people adding me on Twitter, and rightfully so. I can't deny that, but it was just an abysmal. And that's how we're going to talk about this game, guys, because this game was so whack and whack. Every period was a completely different game from the Detroit Red Wings. We're going to do a segment based on each period because I don't know how else to
it was
break
insanity.
Down.
Yes.
The first period was 4-0. What happened?
I mean, let's talk about what happened. It was a train wreck. I think the most wild part of it was that in the first 5 minutes, we dominated.
Yeah, I remember seeing your tweets and stuff. It was crazy.
The Wings look fantastic. I'm very comfortable, by the way. Look at me.
You look cozy.
I show up to work in a comfy, baby. That's how I roll.
It's weird. All I can see is your face, though.
I don't even rock with camo like that, to be honest. But I don't know. Apparently, that's what I own. Anyway, the first 5 minutes of the game. I mean, we were nice. The 5 minutes in, you were like, okay. We were at 7-2 in shots.
Yeah.
I mean, we looked damn good, and the boys were buzzing, and we obviously up 5 in shots. We were in the offensive zone most of the time. It took them, I think, 4 minutes to get their first shot on that. 4 or 5 minutes to get their first shot. It was nice, and then it wasn't, and then. The rest of the period happened, and it was a train wreck, man. It was garbo.
There was not one good player on the ice in that first period. Even the normal suspects. Moritz Seider had probably his worst period, and Alex Nedeljkovic had definitely his worst period as he let in 4 goals on 16 shots and didn't make it out of the first period. He got pulled going into the second. Calvin McCard came in. I mean, just the Chicago Blackhawks, despite being 7th in their division, looked like Stanley Cup contenders against the Detroit Red Wings by just how poorly the Wings were playing. You had goals from, like you said, the first 5 minutes of the game, it looked like the Wings were playing really hot. Then about halfway through the first, Dominik Kubalik got a goal. Then Dylan Strome got a power play goal because Suter took his first of 3 penalties in that game. Then he got another one because Nick Leddy just did not play defense this game, and Sam Lafferty finished it off with an assist from Dylan Strome. It's just that first period summed up every negative. The Detroit Red Wings, the depth was abysmal. The one thing that was shocking was how bad Nedeljkovic played. And, he's not going to be great every single game, but the defense was the worst I've probably seen it this season. And the offense was just could not contribute anything. And despite the fact that Zadina actually had quite a few good scoring chances, he had 4 shots in tonight's game. But again, the man can't catch a break. That first period summarized everything that has been wrong with the Detroit Red Wings this season so far.
Yeah, and we're breaking it down by periods, but there was a couple of constants throughout the entire game. 1, Suter penalties, whole game. 2, the defense, terrible, entire game. 3, Danny DeKeyser, the worst of the horrible defense, the entire game. 4, the inability to get the puck out of your zone was remarkable.
Yes.
I am genuinely not sure I have seen an NHL team struggle as mightily as the Detroit Red Wings did last night to simply clear the damn puck. It was impossible. It was like I can't even think of a funny thing that it was like. It was horrid. That every single time you're just trying to flick the puck out of the zone, it's caught at the blue line. The reason that the first period was a train wreck was because they could not get the puck out of their zone for 15 straight minutes. I mean, my golly. Goodness gravy. It was remarkable. And like it was one of those things that it was so unbelievable that even though it was bad, you were like, this is fascinating. Like this is actually entertaining and exciting to watch because you're like, how is this happening? How is this possible? It was unfathomable, truly. And it was only the beginning.
Well, and there's a lot in going into what made the defense particularly bad today. One, got to note, Gustav Lindstrom did not play. And Gustav Lindstrom has been sneakily one of the better defensemen on this team. I think his WAR percentile is like 83%, which means he's like in the top 83, not top 83%. It's the other way around. Top 17% of the league in defensemen when it comes against wins above replacement. Like he's been sneaky good, not in the lineup because he's dealing with a day-to-day injury. So that's going to shuffle around your entire defensive core. But in the defensive zone, I mean, errant passes after errant passes, like it felt like they had more pressure than they really did. Like they thought they had more pressure on them than they really did, and they weren't making smart plays with the puck. I remember there was one in particular instance, and this happened in the offensive zone, but Moritz Seider was on the blue line. He got the puck at the blue line. He swung it across to the other side, expecting his defensive partner, Danny DeKeyser, to be there. Danny DeKeyser went and changed. And I don't know. Before we crap on Danny DeKeyser, we got to ask the question, like, was that a set play? Was he supposed to change there? Was he hurt? Either way, there was some kind of miscommunication to where the team was in the offensive zone. Moritz Seider was not aware DeKeyser was off the ice. And you just can't be like that. Communication has got to be clear so you know where your teammates are at all times. And if DeKeyser, the question becomes, when did DeKeyser change? Because normally the time to change would be when you're breaking in to the offensive zone as a defenseman because you're passing the bench and you get a fresh defenseman in there to set up in the offensive zone. They were already set up in the offensive zone when Moritz Seider had done that. So when did DeKeyser go to change? Whereas more like to the point where Moritz Seider wouldn't have known that he was changing. Because if he had changed when they were breaking into the zone, a new defenseman would have been on that blue line already.
One
of many things in that period where the defense was like
and look,
non-existent.
I love DDK. I really do. I do. He hasn't been good at all this year. Tonight might have been the lowest point. He had a rough night, man. He really did. And he had a rough night. He had a really, really rough night and was he was a turnover machine, and the whole team was a turnover machine. That's not even, he was a big part of it, but the entire team, that's the other constant. The entire game, turnover after turnover after turnover We were in a bakery. It was unbelievable. Anywhere too, and anybody could get it. Anybody, at anywhere on the ice. You were in front of the net. Good time for a turnover. You were in the neutral zone. Great time. Seems like we should probably turn the puck over. We're in the offensive zone. Now it would be really fun if we turn the puck over right now. It was constant. It was everybody, and it was all over the ice. And
that's unfortunately not something that really went away either, as it kind of came back in the third period, the turnovers.
No, stuff that we thought went away in the second came back in the third.
Yeah.
The second was fun, though.
That's exactly the thing. Is like that's why we're breaking this down period by period, segment by segment, because the first period looked like it was the worst game they've ever played. And then the second period comes along, and it's like they're clicking on all. They're firing on all cylinders. They came back fired up, and all their passes are hitting. They're got all kinds of pressure. And before I can break that down to you guys, I do got to talk to you guys about BetOnline. They would like to wish you a new happy betting year as they continue their march through the playoffs and beyond. BetOnline remains the number one spot for all the best sports wagering action for 2022. New year and a new desktop and mobile website to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use promo code LOCKEDON to get started. From football, basketball, hockey, boxing, and UFC, right to your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of all the amazing offers for 2022. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts.
How? No pause.
No pause.
Right
Powered through it today. I wanted to surprise you.
Hell yeah.
Much like
your brother.
Much like the Red Wings surprised me in the second period of that game. I'm getting slick with it, man.
He's nice.
Getting good at these.
Talk to Brian. Nice.
They came out in the second period, and I was fully expecting just to continue. I mean, Calvin Pickard was in that, and I mean, no offense to Calvin Pickard, but he's an AHL goaltender. I wasn't expecting much, and second period he looked pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. You know what looked better? The rest of the team. It was like a completely new hockey game, and they dominated the Blackhawks that period.
Dominated
in every facet of the game.
Dominated.
The offense's passing was crisp and clean. The Guelph Storm Line continues to be a revelation on the ice.
All three of them scored.
Chemistry. All three of the members of the Guelph Storm Line, despite Suter's 3 penalties today, which he took a second one in the second period, which was the weak one, the hold, which we defend Suter on for that call. But every single member of the Guelph Storm Line scored in the second period. Robbie Fabbri, Tyler Bertuzzi, and Suter. And, of course, the headliner on that one being Tyler Bertuzzi, because he continues to play hot, had another multi-point game today as he got 2 points. I thought he had gotten 3, but apparently he did not get a second assist. He had a goal and 1 assist, but he did provide the screen on Suter's goal to end the second period. To make it was
a beauty of a screen too, man. The still shot that was going around of him right in front of Fleury. Couldn't see anything around him. It was nice.
I mean, everything in that period was going the Detroit Red Wings' way, and their offense was just playing. And this is where Joe Veleno really turned it on too, and he played great through the final 2 periods.
Veleno had a great game. He was one of the few bright spots across all 3 periods on. Like he looked in that in my eyes that's the best game he's played, or the best he's looked, I guess I should say, all season.
He was facilitating. I remember watching one play where Veleno was on the ice in the third period where he was skating down the ice. He deked his way through 2 defenders and set the puck across to, I think, Zadina, who just barely missed it.
Of course he says.
Well, actually, I think it's not that he missed it, but he got hooked and it led to a penalty. If I recall correctly. And it's just...
He looked really good, though. He looked quick.
Ryan Carpenter, 2 minutes for slashing on Philip Zadina. So
he looked quick. He was cutting through the defense, like you said. That was a constant. His passing was good. He was one of the few people that wasn't an absolute turnover machine, and he's not getting as many minutes as everybody else, but he looked phenomenal for real.
And he was, I mean, this is the Joe Veleno that the Red Wings drafted, and this is Joe Veleno they expected him to be. He was, like I said, he was facilitating plays, and he was fast, he was slick, he was creating opportunities. That's what Joe Veleno is supposed to be.
He was slick with it.
But Tyler Bertuzzi, I mean, just continues 2 points again tonight. What's his total at? Let me click on his little icon here. Right, a lot.
I mean, Larkin added a goal to his total too.
Yeah, both reached the 20-goal benchmark in this game. So that's like that's the weird thing is like there are strangely a lot of positives in this hockey game. In a game where they lost by 3 goals, had a 4-0 deficit. It's just this game was such an enigma. I mean, let me read you the scoring changes as they happen: 4-0, 4-3, 6-3, 6-5, ending 8-5. I mean, that's the story of the game. Is they battled hard and they battled back, but they couldn't overcome their own deficiencies. And in the end, you can't go down 4-0 in the first period and expect to win. They had a phenomenal second period. I saw your tweet about the Red Wings being an even number period team, and I thought that was funny. You were on one today on Twitter. Honestly,
I was a problem. Yeah, I was on
good kind
one
of
for
problem
sure.
though. It was fun. You threatened to shave my head, and I dreaded that coming to fruition.
No, I mean, like, look, the second was great, and like you said at the beginning, man, this game was just all the good. We saw all the things that have made the Wings, win games, and all the things that have made them take a big step forward this year, and all of the horribleness and all the things that we've struggled with, and to encapsulate the entire season, good and bad and ugly and mid and excellent and everything, all into one game was unbelievable.
Yeah, well, in the first period is really the tale of like the weakest link. It's the defense. The first period, and it's not just the defense, but the forwards not playing defense as well.
Right.
I guess that's something.
All 5 people on the ice struggling at defense, not the defensemen.
Yeah.
Well, yes, the defensemen, but everyone.
In the second period, it was primarily the Guelph Storm line, but the offense in general is that top six forward core providing a lot of offense, which they do. And then Seider picked it back up. The only real enigma and outlier in this game was Nedeljkovic, in which you don't expect Nedeljkovic to go out there and have a bad game like he did. But I mean, hey, I guess after 5-6 straight starts, he's bound to have a bad one eventually. I'm not going to like get too hung up or cry about it, which is why I'm not really breaking down.
And Pickard looked good.
He looked
in the second. Sorry, we were still on segment 2. He looked good in the second.
It was just, it's just, we've talked about it in the past, Scotty, about what is going to make or break this hockey team this season. And this is what it is. It's consistency. It's depth. It's, we talked about it. The team would not be sustainable at the level they were playing because they had these issues. And today is probably the epitome of the games in which you saw these issues hurt them. I mean, they put 5 goals up. Most other games, you put 5 goals up, you're going to win. But they could not overcome their own deficiencies to win this hockey game.
No, they could not. No, they could not. And the third period was absolute, utter chaos.
Yeah, let's move right into that because I don't got a live read here, so let's just keep on chugging.
Beauty. Third period starts off. We're what? We're down 1. We're down 4-3.
4-3.
And then all hell breaks loose, and the problems that we saw in the first re-showed up and came back up in the third. But then the strengths from the second offensively also carried over to the third, and it made for one of the most ridiculous periods of hockey I have watched in recent memory.
Yeah, it was Red Wings hockey. That's what it was.
It was
the third
Red
period
Wings hockey.
Was Red Wings hockey. The first period was all the negatives. The second period was all the positives. The third period was what happens when you combine both those things at the same time.
Correct.
In which they're going to give up bad goals, but they're going to score some exciting ones. I mean, right off the bat, Suter gets a 2-minute hooking call on Jonathan Toews, his third penalty of the night, and Dylan Strome completes his hat trick on the power play. I mean, it puts him up 2 goals. really
Yes.
felt like the dagger at that time.
It did. And Suter, Suter, I think they said he had only had a few penalties all year. And then this game, he had 3 in a night. We're like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, it's not his game.
And he had his revenge goal, which was fun, right, in the second. But I mean, it you give and you take, and there's the yin and the yang, and there's good and bad. Oh my goodness, what a ridiculous hockey game.
Yeah.
I mean, man, and his goal was nice. He was nice.
A nice screen from Bertuzzi.
But right. We talked about, but what are we doing, man? What are we doing going to the box 3 times? Also, speaking of penalties, justice for Giovanni Smith. That is the softest game misconduct I have ever seen in my life. He got it with like 11 and a half minutes left in the game, and the 10 plus the 2 minutes for the roughing just went straight to the locker room. Bush League reffing. Absolute Bush. What a joke.
It was definitely a LeBron flop.
He got flopped. What we don't call embellishment anymore, though. That's not a thing. Embellishment no longer a thing. We just you know what? You can flop and kick someone out of a hockey game. Awesome. Unbelievable. I was fired up. What a joke that was. And he was obviously put out there with the intention of, hey, we need to get some momentum back and try and win this damn hockey game. And he went out there, he got the roughing, sure, but he got them to get a roughing too. It was a 4-on-4. I'm pretty sure they scored on it, but we were still at even strength. And then ridiculous. Like the push. He shouldn't have pushed him. Do you see how much nonsense goes on after a dead puck in hockey? Everybody's pushing everybody. Shut up. That's absurd. To be like, oh yeah, he shouldn't have pushed him. He flopped. Everybody's pushing everybody. Grow up. Ridiculous.
I
don't say it, Brian.
think it was unnecessary.
Yeah, it's all unnecessary.
No, but listen to me, Scotty.
It's all unnecessary.
So you said exactly the point.
Ever.
It was a 4. He already drew the penalty. He got them to draw a penalty. It was 4-on-4. The scrum was over. And then afterwards, he was going to pick up his glove, was skating by Connor Murphy and shoved him. Was it a flop? Yes.
Okay.
But the point being here is after the scrum was finished, everyone was skating away. It was an additional shove that did not need to occur. Murphy flopped. And if that's going to be allowed in the game, then I can't. I mean, it's weak. Yeah, and it was a weak call to give him 10-minute games misconduct. But at that point, Smith took it a step too far. I don't think that was necessary for him to do.
But he
when it was already a 4-on-4. He just got himself kicked out of the game.
Right. Sure. So you agree flopped?
Yes, I agree flopped.
Okay. So you agree flopped. So you agree then that the natural reaction, if he got pushed and didn't flop, was he just would have skated a little bit to the right and just gotten pushed a little bit?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, that's not a game misconduct. That's just pushing someone, which happens after every single dead puck. He got a game misconduct because of a flop, not because of a push.
Well, he got a game
flop.
Yeah, okay, he got it because of the flop, but it was an unnecessary thing for him to do after the scrum was broken up. It was over.
Probably.
It was done.
Probably.
If he hadn't done that, that's something he's got to be. That's something he's got to learn. If he's going to be the enforcer,
Sure.
when to stop, when to put the brakes on. It
Fair
was
enough.
unnecessary at that point.
Fair enough. My rebuttal is if everybody flopped as hard as he did, there would be 20 game misconducts a night in the NHL. That there's pushing and people shoving each other and putting their hands in their face and grabbing jerseys after literally every single dead puck. Somebody left a comment like a week ago and said he didn't like that I said literally and didn't actually mean it. Literally, after every single dead puck. You heard me.
Connor, in my opinion, Connor Murphy was doing his job in trying to draw another penalty.
I respect the game. Don't get me wrong. I respect the game.
This is on the refs.
Yes. Oh, yeah. 100%. Yes. 100%. I respect the hell out of the game and trying to draw penalties on people. I respect the mental game immensely.
The whole thing could have just been avoided still, though, if Smith had not had committed the extra shove after everything had settled down. That's my only argument.
I'm saying
he should have been done.
If you get pushed, if pushing happens and the opponent just falls over, like he just got shot in the leg after a light tap, that's, I mean, we're going to see that, like I said, 20, 30 times a night across the league, nightly for the rest of the season. Yeah. I get what you're saying, and I do agree with it. I'm just saying that was it unnecessary? Yes, because it was dead and he had already gotten the pen, but that doesn't take away from the fact that it was because of the flop.
Yeah. And so at that point it became 5-3 6-3 after the ensuing goal.
After the 4-on-4, yep.
And I was talking to the warehouse manager, Danielle, and I was like, this is over. It's done. It's dead. The game's over. Out of curiosity, I was like, hey, Tara, do you mind if I go just watch some of the game? Because it was dead in the store. Everyone was watching the game. No one was shopping. She's like, yeah, sure. So I walk down the tunnel. I just watched the last couple of minutes, not expecting much, but just watching. I wanted to see some live hockey.
Boy, were you wrong.
Boy, was I wrong. Red Wings go on a power play. By the way, Lucas Raymond on the flank with Robbie Fabbri as a bumper has been a much better solution.
He was open, man. He was open. He was open, and I think he got poked mid pass. But that one play specifically, man, he was open.
Well, and then Tyler Bertuzzi down in front of the net, being a constant threat there on whether or not he's going to screen, whether or not he's going to shoot, whether or not he's going to pass. He passed it up to the flank to Lucas Raymond, who passed up the Seider at the point, who unleashed a beautiful one-timer for his fourth goal of the season on the power play. Then following that, oh boy, Dylan Larkin gets in on the fun, capitalizes on a Blackhawks turnover, makes it 6-5. I'm like, there's still 4 minutes left in this game. They could come back. What is happening? I had given up hope again.
That's the thing, man. They kept pulling you back.
Yeah. And then Nick Leddy
kept pulling you back, and then Nick Leddy. He looked bad all game, man.
That was a
turnover machine as well. I mean, positioning really. The forechecking. What forechecking?
Yeah.
It was abysmal, especially in the first and third. Because I mean, we had the puck almost the entirety of the second, to be honest with you. But a rough way to cap off a rough performance by Nick Leddy.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, in the end, wow. 4-0, 4-3, 6-3, 6-5, 8-5.
8-5.
First period, everything wrong with the Red Wings. Second period, everything right with the Red Wings. Third period, combination of both. I mean, that was just a roller coaster from start to finish. And the only thing we can conclude from that game is that Tyler Bertuzzi is hashtag a dynamic threat.
Dynamic threat. Brian Fisher, a dynamic threat. You got to keep your head in a swivel when he's out there. Dynamic threat.
You want to hear a cool story that I experienced today before we sign off?
Of course.
So the authentic supervisor, Matt, who, by the way, great guy. If you guys
Shout
ever
out
want
Matt.
Authentic stuff, Matt, he is the authentic supervisor at Little Caesars Arena. He's in charge of all your game use stuff
Big
and
ups,
your
Matt.
autograph stuff. Matt's awesome. He was having some back pain today, and so he's like, he had to go pick up some equipment from the locker room. He goes, "Hey, Brian, you want to go down to the locker room with me and grab some of these sticks?" Should have seen the smile on my face. Oh yeah, let's go. I gotta go help. She knew. She knew that I was going down there because I wanted to go down there, not so much because I was gonna help Matt. I was like, I'm gonna go help Matt. He needs help. And she goes, So we go down to the locker room, and the Players Club. And we're passing by the hockey sticks, and there's a set of Grice sticks on the wall. And there's one stick that has hockey tape over his name, and it just says COVID positive.
What?
It was a joke.
They're
giving him
that's
crap.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Gee whiz. I was like, are they like that? I was like, damn.
No, it was with all the rest of the sticks. I'm assuming the players were just teasing him.
Yeah.
And so there was just one hockey stick that had his name written over and just said COVID plus on it. But that was great. But it helped him bring back a bunch of equipment. I don't know how any of these NHL players shoot with the blades that they have, dude, because they have open curves with just wicked toes. And I'm like, if I'm not running like a P88 or a what do they call it? They called it the Stamkos when I was growing up. It was the Zetterberg before that. Like that's what I need if I'm trying to shoot the puck. Like it does not open at all. It's like this, and it does not open. These players, man, it's like
precise, man.
It's like that.
Yeah, precise.
I don't know how they do it.
I mean, maybe the Wings need to not based on the puck control tonight. I mean, my goodness.
I'm about to take some photos and post them because I can't. Vladislav Nemesnikov's was gnarly, and I'm like, how does he shoot with this? But it was a really interesting experience and really cool. It was a really cool experience going down.
He had a rough turnover too, by the way.
They all did. I mean, we're just gonna pretend this game never existed. We're gonna pretend we didn't do yesterday.
The second period existed though.
So only the second period existed.
This was a 1-period game in which the Wings won 3-0. Thank you.
But you know what?
Thank you.
You know, we got to wrap it up here. But you take away.
If you take away the bad, we looked great tonight. Hey, I'm gonna use this trick. No, I'm gonna use this trick on everybody now. I'm gonna use this trick on my boss. It's over. If you just take away the first and then all the bad in the third, this is a 5-0 game, guys. We're talking. I mean, this is domination.
If you just take away the first period, if they had an average first period, they would have won that hockey game.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
You just can't go down for 4-0 after the first and expect to win. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, tough to dig yourself out of that hole. That's for sure.
It wasn't a hole; it was a grave.
Yes.
Any final thoughts, man?
We ball.
We definitely ball, except for the Red Wings last night. Thanks for making Locked On. We still ball. Thanks for making Locked On Red Wings your first listen every day. And I'll make your second listen Locked On Bets. They're your one-stop shop for all your gambling needs. Locked On Bets, hosted by your boy Q, with expert analysis and insights from Lee Sterling. Locked On Bets. What's the last line of that? I had to memorize it.
Yeah, I know. I on Tigers today, I was doing the same thing. I got all the way up to that point. I was like, what's the last sentence? I was like, I think I was just like, yeah, so go check them out.
Hey, finger guns.
Hey.
I got it for the most part. I got the
No, you nailed it, man. You nailed it.
We'll be back with we got a game preview tomorrow, buddy.
Yeah, it's the Pens too, right? No?
Maple Leafs.
Oh, boy. When do we play the Pens?
Might be Monday.
Oh, geez.
Maple Leafs on Saturday, dude.
I don't know what my schedule was. Yeah, that's going to be a fun one.
Little Caesars Arena.
Woo! That'll be a fun game.
So stay tuned. Same time.
Stay tuned.
Same place. It's your team. Every day.
Every day.
I wanted to see how long you would wait. Before just saying it. I heard it. It was beautiful. You can hit those notes, buddy.